Hi, I'm Jack Slocum. In this video, we're going to be creating an algorithm with a virtual chart containing MACD and RSI indicators for configurable security. Buy the equity when a MACD crossover occurs and the RSI value is below the configurable oversold signal. And we're going to sell the equity when the MACD crosses back under the signal or the RSI value is above a configurable overbought signal. After logging into Algorithm, navigate to the Algorithm screen and select New Algorithm. That launches the Algorithm Builder in Visual Editor mode. The Visual Editor allows you to build the structure of your algorithm using a color-coded drag-and-drop interface. Drag items from the toolbox on the left and drop them in the same colored collection items to the right in the Algorithm Inspector. Let's edit the name and description for this algorithm. And it will hold equity positions. We're going to leave everything else set to the default settings. Next, we're going to add a symbol parameter to the algorithm. A symbol parameter allows an individual instance of this algorithm to specify what security it's going to be running against. And we're going to add a grouping property to this parameter, which just means all subsequent parameters will be organized visually in a group in the parameter form. Next, we'll add a security worker. A security worker loads and initializes our target security and ensures our algorithm doesn't run until the security is initialized and receiving real-time streaming updates. By default, the security worker is bound to the symbol parameter we've already added, but it can be bound to any individual symbol as well. We'll set this back to symbol. Now we add a chart worker. A chart worker creates a virtual chart with indicators that our algorithm can use to perform technical analysis. Our chart is bound to the symbol parameter from above. And we want a one-day chart with 1 minute bars for today, and the chart is not ready until there are at least 26 bars present. Now we add a MACD indicator to the chart. The default fast, slow, and signal periods are fine. And then we'll add the RSI indicator. Next, we need to implement methods in our algorithm. We'll be implementing the two most important methods in this algorithm, onSeek and onManage. OnSeek is called when an instance doesn't have an active position and is seeking a new one. OnManage is called when an instance does have an active position and needs to determine if it should exit it. On the chart worker we added earlier, the member property was set to chart, which allows us to access the chart as this.chart. The last property of the chart is a reference to the last bar in the chart. The previous property of the last bar references the preceding bar in the chart, which we will use to determine if a MACD crossover just occurred. Indicator values for bars are accessed by the ID of the indicator, and for indicators that have secondary values like MACD, they can be accessed by passing the name of the secondary field as the second argument to the indicator function. Here we test if the MACD for the current bar is above the signal and the MACD for the preceding bar was below, and that the RSI value is below 30. When a security passes both of those checks, we pass it to the enter function. By default, the enter function enters as many of the past equity, option, or spreads as this instance has the available funds to enter, including any maintenance requirements, fees, or commissions into the calculation. The enter price is automatically calculated using the automated pricing configuration for the algorithm, or can be specified manually by implementing your own onEnter method. As you can see, the oversold signal for the RSI is hard-coded at 30. Let's go ahead and make that a parameter. Let's drag over a number parameter. Set its name to oversold signal, the label and description as well. It's required parameter. Minimum value is 1, maximum value is 100, and the default value is 30. Now let's edit the code. We'll access the value using this.get, which is a standard method for accessing parameter values from within an instance. We can also add the overbought signal now for the onManage function. Most of the properties are very similar. The minimum value is 1 and the maximum value is 100, and the default value for the overbought signal is 70. As we did in the onSeek function, here we access the last bar in the chart and read its indicator values. Then we check if the MACD crossed below the signal or the RSI value is above the overbought signal parameter. If one of those is true, we call exit to exit the position. The exit function will automatically initiate the correct type of trade to exit the past position using the automated pricing configuration on that instance. That's it. Now we can save the code and exit the visual editor. Now we can create an instance of our algorithm. Select the equity sample algorithm and then click Continue. The top 4 parameters on the parameter form are the default parameters included for every algorithm instance. The bottom 3 parameters in the equity sample group are the parameters we added. Let's configure our new instance using JP Morgan for the symbol and click Create Instance. After creating our instance, we need to fund it. An instance starts out with the status of unfunded until funds are allocated to it. This instance is linked to the paper trading account, so we will allocate funds from that account. The amount defaults to the max position risk for the instance, and we'll add a short memo. Once it receives funding, the instance immediately starts working. And now our new algorithm instance is running and actively scanning for new positions.